Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Peach Podcast with Seductive Peach. And I have a very special guest for everyone today, CEO Nicole M. Jordan with the Exquisite PR firm. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you on.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, nice to meet you finally.
Right? Okay. I'm like, okay, look at her. She's lying. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm well. It's
Good.
2005. I can't complain.
I have to say I am so impressed by your resume, your bio. I have to, Women's Month next month. I'm giving you your flowers right now. You're a very inspiring woman.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Especially someone like yourself that's, for me, you are very inspiring because along the same path. And to hear that you struggled so much and then you still, just by having faith and keep pushing, you still you made it through, and it's inspiring, because I'm definitely struggling right now. So for me, this was a very inspiring story, and I think you're a very inspiring woman.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Most
You're in
definitely.
media, as you know. This is not an easy ride at all. It's male dominated, and so you got to get in where you fit in. Um, Definitely be resilient and courageous, because courage, you got to have some courage. You got to have some, because there's going to be some things that come up that you're going to either have to take a leap, maybe bob and weave, maybe dodge some bullets.
Right, definitely.
But,
You
you'll show up in the building. It's not going to matter. So, yeah.
You've actually touched one of my points, or one of my questions I was going to ask you. It's kind of a two-part question, which is, do you feel like it's ever, you ever been treated with sexist discrimination, because it is a male-dominant field and industry, and how do you deal with it?
We don't. We're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with that. I can say honestly, all these years that I've been not in the industry, but part of entertainment, I've never had anyone, ever had anyone mistreat me as far as come on to me or put me in a bad situation, or put me in a situation to where I feel like if I don't do, then I can't get. So I've been probably one of so many of the lucky ones that I can honestly say the guys have never mistreated me in any type of way. But there are times that I've had people that have been with me that have said that these type of things go on. And then I feel like you look apart. If you don't look apart, that might not get you in the door. And that has been one of my issues. Like, I'm not showing the upper and I'm not showing the lower. I'm not, being overly dramatic, just because I'm myself. And I had issues with myself as far as how I looked, how I dressed, things of that nature. Not that I didn't want to be sexy or whatever, because that's part of our womanhood, but I didn't dress like that because of my insecurities. Now, had I dressed a certain type of way, that might have brought about those type of things, but because I didn't, never really exposed anything to give anybody anything to gawk at or look at. They always treat me like I'm one of the guys or one of the sis or something like that. I don't think that's a reason for them to do it or for them to step over boundaries, but that's the statistic and that's what it is. You know what I mean? So you got to definitely know how to handle yourself and not tolerate no bull at all, because of time will cause so many other trickle effects for not just you, but you and your. So yeah.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. It's it's hard sometimes even working like with different artists and stuff. Like I have to literally like not even work with some artists even if they're very talented, just because they want to come on to me or something, and it's like no. It's you got to stand 10 toes down and stick to business. Like no, it's not that kind of party. So, yeah,
Yeah. And then the mentality of an artist, like they're thinking like it's a hustle. They're hustling. So if we can get this person, or if I like her, if I vibe with her, I do this, then you'll find yourself writing press releases, doing spins. You know what I mean? Getting them on, doing things that you don't do.
Right.
All about the name of a relationship. So you thought, and so yeah, and not 9 times out of 10, like we older, like we not doing none of that. Now it's a way
Right.
to present yourself, it's a way to come at her, or some of these people we might have never met had we not
Right.
been doing this. Like we never would have.
Right.
I know me myself. It was some people that I'd have been like, whoo, I I try not to fan out or whatever because I really have
Right. Right.
I really don't have a what do you call it? Where people are very where they don't know how to act when they're around fans or A-listers or whatever. I've never really had that behavior, but as far as sex appeal, yeah, it's some sexy men out here. You know what I mean? It's eye candy for sure. Might not have met them ever, just in your neighborhood, walking down the street,
Right. Right.
but that's where we say we don't fraternize. We
Right.
don't do business with pleasure at all because it
That's the
don't.
perfect word for it. No fraternizing.
No fraternizing, absolutely, absolutely.
So you went to school for journalism. You went to school for, yeah, business journalism. You emphasized on graphic design. Was there like a main event in your life that occurred that made you want to go in this field, or was it just something you were already intrigued by?
Well, as far as I can, well, let me start off with the education. This is my second round in college. I'm still in college. Let's say
Okay.
that. And so even with me still being in college now, yes, I do go to school for everything that you said, journalism, graphic design, public relations, all of that. Not only do I go to school, but I have mentorship outside of school because this game forever changes. So
Oh.
I have to stay on top of my P's and Q's all the time. Um, what I've learned is you cannot slip in this field at all. And the fact that I'm not young anymore, I'm a little bit older. These young girls are coming in and guys killing the scene. So I need to be at least killing the scene with something, even if it's intelligence.
No, most definitely.
Pour over to somebody because they're
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, they're
Mm-hmm.
handsome, and they're not playing. They're a lot different than
Mm-hmm.
how it was when I started
Mm-hmm.
doing it. And then the second question was, is this something that I've always wanted to do? I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to be an obstetricianist. I wanted to be a doctor. I had no idea that
Mm-hmm.
this is where my life was going to be.
Right.
And this was going to be one of my God-given gifts. No clue at all. There were some things that happened in life
Mm-hmm.
that took a turn a few times.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this 2010, 2011, and 12, um, things started happening, and I ended up being an intern at
Mm-hmm.
WRLR in Round Lake for 7 years under the infamous Cheryl Dunlap. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and with that being said, I still had no idea that this was going to
Mm-hmm.
be my career. I think I'm still swallowing the fact that this is what I'm doing. I think, sometimes I question, like, wait a minute, because it's so much.
Yeah, it is a lot. How many years would you say now you've been like all together doing it?
Um, let's say doing what?
Like, yeah, true. I was like, actually, I should rephrase that part. Doing pretty much your PR firm. And well, you said you were intern at the radio station 7 years, And then I know you did a lot of interviews on different award shows and stuff like that. Interviewed a lot of different people. And I guess with the media and then the public relations and the journalism, I guess everything overall, like, was it one thing at a time you did, or did you jump full force into a couple things at once? Because I know I thought I was going to be a lawyer, so I feel you there. I wasn't in this field either, so I feel you with that.
Like, it works though. Like, you think you're going to be a lawyer, but you're able to mesh your argumentative or debating behavior into your career,
right,
and win in that realm. So let me take you back to in my mind and how I think. When I think about being a little girl and being in my room and having the boom box and Word Up magazine, LL Cool J, Kumo D on the wall, you know what I mean, in Vogue, and spending a lot of time by myself. I had a radio, and then I got another one, and then I had all these tapes with all these pencils, and I would be recording and making mixtapes before I even knew what mixtapes were. I just thought that it was a good idea to put this song and that song together, and then me and my friends we had a group. Oh God, I can't remember this. We had a group called Those 3. So I thought that it would be a good idea, not really realizing that that's part of this whole thing. You know what I mean? So manifesting, I was telling someone this today, thoughts create reality. And what I can say, Seductive Peach, is now that I'm more mature and seasoned and I look back at life, I manifested this, not even acknowledging it.
right.
Doing the tapes, when the tapes would come out, taking the pencil, putting them back in.
I feel, as you're saying that, I'm thinking I would be in my room for hours by myself singing stuff like that, like not realizing either really like I've always loved music, different genres of music, always, music is my life. Like, I don't even watch TV, like I listen to music, so like I didn't realize either really, like maybe I was manifesting too something bigger than what I seen at that time because I was a kid then, so I definitely get that aspect too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So understand that word manifest, and understand that word thoughts create reality. Understand the power in the mind. The mind is a powerful thing. When people say, and even at Thanksgiving, what are you grateful for?
Right.
I'm grateful for my mind. I'm grateful for my mind because, 1 second, please. I'm sorry I didn't turn my phone off. That's so rude.
Oh, you're good. She's a busy woman. She's a big CEO, everyone.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, you guys. If we're going to stop, it's probably they can wait. And because I'm starting to roll things out now, it's time for me to get out here. Let my face be seen. Let people understand and know that I am exquisite. I am Pavani J. I am the CEO and founder of my company. I was really hesitant for so many years because I figured, like, who cares who they think who owns the company? Nobody cares. We don't care, but I guess it does matter. And it matters when you get into that upper realm, and it matters when you get into that realm with the CEOs and the COOs and the CFOs. And when you find out that at that table, when there's money at that table, the conversation is different and you need to be there.
Right.
And so I'm struggling. Well, no, let me rephrase what I'm saying. I want to be intentional about what I say. I was struggling with just putting myself out there because of my own insecurities, weight, maybe how I look, maybe, just certain things, I don't beat my face to the gods every day, and these are some gorgeous women out here, like, and you're like, oh, feeling a little inferior, you know what I mean?
Oh, girl, can I just interrupt you there and say you are absolutely beautiful and gorgeous.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. And you got a beautiful smile. So go
Thank
ahead
you.
and show them that pretty face, girl.
Listen, trying to get these big glasses, like make them bigger. That's not big enough. Doctor's like, look, we ain't making you don't even wear bifocals. We can't make them that big. I'm like, well, it's not big enough, and just not even realizing how I'm hiding behind certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And so pulling the veil off 2025 is the year.
Right.
It's my year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I can say is just when we're looking at how long I've been doing this. So we're gonna say what's 2025, 2013 is when I really walked into the door
Right.
of radio,
Mm-hmm.
interning, things of that nature. And then we're gonna roll it on up 7 years of that. But in the midst of that,
Mm-hmm.
I was taking acting classes, went over the road with gospel stage play, and I stepped into the gospel realm
Mm-hmm.
when I first started. Never really understood. I was having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was having fun. I didn't even think about it um, in the aspect of business wise. I didn't think
Right.
about the
Right.
business of it. I love
Mm-hmm.
music, um,
Right. Mm-hmm.
being around entertainers,
Mm-hmm.
comedians, A-listers and B-listers.
Mm-hmm.
The first red carpet I went to, I was like, not even, they thought that I was a comedian there because I was taking my shoes off and like, oh, my feet hurt. Y'all get in this line, hurry up. Y'all taking too long. I had no idea what was really going on because of a situation that happened prior to that. I'm realizing the manifestation of God in this whole thing, because had I knew what was going on, I may have manipulated it or messed it up in some sort of way in
Mm-hmm.
regards to the learning aspect of it.
Right. Right.
And so 2010 and 11, it started coming about.
Mm-hmm.
13, I've been doing this for real since 2013,
Mm-hmm.
starting a business for sure 2014, which was so exquisite. And it was a executive firm, an
Mm-hmm.
executive assistant, executive administrative firm.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off in Atlanta, and it went well. And it went well because someone by the name of Dr. Pamela Johnson took me under her wing.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to say, "Oh, little birdie, you just seem so new, like you're from another planet." Because I had a nervous breakdown
Mm-hmm.
in 2009
Mm-hmm.
that eliminated my life. I
Mm-hmm.
knew I had kids, and I knew I had my kid's father, um, and I knew he had passed away, but a big chunk of my life was missing. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was on the search of what's going on out here. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Having fun. So she was
Right.
able to pour into me
Mm-hmm.
everything that she knew, everything that she knew. And I had no idea that she was building a publicist. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what she did. She built me up. I moved to Atlanta, came back to Chicagoland area, brought the company, because being around her, you had to be of something.
Right.
And so I had to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went back to school um, right after, because I didn't go to school. I got a GED.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a whole nother, I could tell you a whole story. I don't even know how long you got. But people
Oh,
look at me and
listen,
have,
you don't even know how much I'm even relating to your story, so please go ahead.
people have no idea of who I am when they look at me. And I didn't want to tell my story. I said I wasn't going to tell my story. My story wasn't for sale.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to write that fake book.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to write that. You know what I mean? I see so many people doing some things that just like, no, I'm not doing that. That's not real. And so throughout all of these things, I can honestly say about 14 years, 14 years with a 2-year gap.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that 14 years with a 2-year gap. So we're going to say 12 years
Mm-hmm.
of doing this. And I'm forever teachable, and I'll remain forever open, because this, like you, I'm replaceable. And that's what I always think. And that's what I always know,
Mm-hmm.
because with that mindset, I'll stay on top of everything that I need to stay on top of.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Loyalty is a big deal for me, and
Mm-hmm.
trust is a big deal for me. And in this industry, when they knocked me down the first time,
Mm-hmm.
it was because of that. Loyalty and trust was broken, and
Right.
I had to harness that to get myself back in the game, because I didn't think that I would come back in. And that was at that 8 year mark.
Okay, that's very interesting. So crazy is I'm going to be going back to school soon. And I love hearing your
Mm-hmm.
story. I love hearing your story
Thank you.
because you don't even know. I got my GED. I started off doing live streaming and stuff. That's how my podcast even came about in the first place. Like,
Mhm.
so I didn't start like with school. I kind of went the opposite way, but now I'm going back to school. But now it's like, I want to go for journalism. I want to go for business. I want to go for marketing and advertising because that's what I'm doing. So
Mhm.
that's why I find your story very inspiring and also relatable in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
But I think it's um, I did. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. I seen you had like, how did you come up with each one teach one? Was that like a saying?
Oh, it was a saying. It definitely was. Oh wow, you taking me back. Each one teach one. Okay. So about this nervous breakdown. Um, so let me say this. I can talk about this because within the last year and a half, my memory has come back tenfold. Like, I can remember everything. Like, vision wise, I can literally see back when I was 2 doing the splits in the hallway and falling off the back of the couch, my father telling me not to. But a lot of my memory, the people that know me and even that have worked with me, and even who have mentored me, can contest and say, "Oh yeah, she was forgetful," and that's the role that I had to play, because I was embarrassed about telling them about the nervous breakdown, because the world had handed. I felt like the world had handed me too much, and my father passed away, but it was really provision over my mind. Again, keep in mind, your mind is powerful.
Yes, it is.
So to forget the things that I needed,
Mm-hmm.
I had 4 women, 4 Italian women take me abroad. I had no mother, I had no father. I was in a city. I had no idea how I got there. I was literally waking up crying every day, feeling like I was in a drunken slumber.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't even drink, but just feeling just foggy every day.
Right.
It got better over time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in a place, and there was 4 women, Italian. And it was funny because they were all different ages. One was like, Mary was in her 70s, I believe. Helen was like 60 something. And Helen was the one that was closest to me. Hi, Helen. Helen Orr is her name. I love her to death. Okay. I love her to death. um, and then Mary, Becca,
Mm-hmm.
and Angela. So I learned how to cook really healthy. And so I forgot how to cook greens and all those things, that the soul food part of me. I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of forgot it, and learned how to cook asparagus, and I learned how to cook salmon, and learn how to eat really healthy and salads and things of that nature. And
Mm-hmm.
learn how to go to parenting, and do a biblical parenting course by Mary, and then just
Mm-hmm.
really learning life lessons with
Mm-hmm.
Helen, and about bills, and about how to make my bed. And they took me abroad because they seen something in me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the family that I garnered, because at the age of 30, I was familyless. I had no family, just my children.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew my children. I remember my children. But again, I was in a place by way of another place, and I'm going to say that,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then as time went on, after about 4.5 years
Mm-hmm.
and graduation and all these things, and it was time to go. And I would ask Helen, why do because there was no way that I can play when I would get angry with
Mm-hmm.
them. I couldn't play any type of role. I couldn't play a prejudice role because they loved on me.
Mm-hmm.
They would get angry with me because I would do something that was so immature, so
Mm-hmm.
different from them. I couldn't play that card.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say, well, why are you even showing me this? Or why are you even wasting your time in? Helen would say, each one teach one.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I never understood what she meant. I was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm about to leave. I ain't trying to hear that. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself pouring over into people. But then I would be like, I don't have time for that. I got things to do. I got to be at the radio station. I got to do this. I got to do that. And one day she said to me on the phone, each one teach one.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get unless you give.
Right.
So I
Amen.
can't get anything unless I give it back because somebody gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so whether they call that gatekeeping in this industry or gatekeeping in life, each
Mm-hmm.
one teach one. If
Mm-hmm.
somebody gave it to you, you teach somebody else. If I got it and I know that you can do better at what you're doing, and I know that there's a little bitty smidget of thing that I could tell you to change the dynamics of your life, each one teach one. What I
Mm-hmm.
just taught you can then garner me the world. It only takes one person to change your life.
Mm-hmm.
One. That's all it takes. And that's what they taught me.
Well, that's awesome. It's amazing to have be blessed with people in your life that were pouring into you and like actually took the initiative and time to do that. So definitely shout out to
Mm-hmm.
them, all of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I found that catchy too, the each one teach one. And I also did find like there has to be some big meaning behind that
Oh, it
because
is. It is
it
big. And it's
definitely
bigger than
means,
that. I just settled it up for you.
yeah.
I might tell you off screen or something. It's a little bigger than that, but it can save your life. Just think about that. It's so
Oh
many
yeah.
things that we don't think about. We
Hmm.
don't think about. We don't think about, and it's so imperative that we are intentional about what we think and what we
Hmm.
say,
Hmm.
because our mouth is powerful, and our thoughts are even more
Yeah,
powerful.
definitely. What would be some advice that you would give somebody um, in your field or in, going along the same path?
Elevate, never settle. That's my other mantra. Elevate, never settle.
Hmm.
You know, stand for something or you'll fall for anything, for one.
Right.
And elevate, whatever your elevation is. Um, I was talking to someone about elevation
Hmm.
and a higher level of thinking. How
Hmm.
can you elevate to another level, whatever that higher level is, if you've never been there?
Right.
You can only be awed and amazed by things that you haven't seen.
Right.
And so, how can you step into that elevation if you've never seen it? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, elevation
Right.
for me may be a master's degree because I only
Hmm.
know people with master's degrees and I don't know anybody with a PhD. Elevation for you may be a PhD.
Hmm.
Elevation for someone else may be a millionaire entrepreneur. How can I step into that elevation? Never settle. Don't
Right.
settle. Just keep going. Keep
Right.
moving. Keep grooving. Get with who you need to get with.
Hmm.
Surround yourself by some powerful entities, powerful women.
Hmm.
For one, women. Power. I love
Hmm.
us. I'm
Hmm.
not the women. I'm not that woman who says, "Oh, girl, I can't be around
Hmm.
no women like that because they too messy." That's not me.
Hmm.
I love us. I love us. Because when you catch us at that real seasoned state,
Hmm.
or when you find somebody who's not as seasoned but wants it so bad, we are the most beautifulest flowers you can ever
Hmm.
be around, and so powerful. But I
Right.
love my brothers too, of all
Hmm.
nationalities, because they have, once they've elevated to that level
Hmm.
of season, and I don't want to say old. I want to say seasoned, where you know a little bit about a lot and know a whole lot about a whole lot, you know? It's amazing to see them conquer and soar and get to their level as well, and just surround yourself with those people.
Right.
I am familiar with not being the richest person in the room or the most prosperous person in the room because I put myself there. Because if I'm around the same people all the time, how can I grow? I can't grow like that.
Right.
And so that's where I'm at with life. Where I'm at, I'm touching the hem of anybody that I feel that's greater than me, you know, or even being in the room. To be in the room with Michelle Obama as she's doing a book reading in Chicago was one of the most intimate moments for me.
Right.
Where I felt like I made it.
Right.
Just to be in the room with them. Because there was a time when I thought that I would never see that in my life ever. So yeah, that's about the size of it. That's about the size of it. Where do you want to go? Where are you trying to go with life? Where are you trying to go with what you're doing?
Right. What is a memorable moment you would say you've had so far in your career through everything
What I
you've
just
done?
told you.
Everything you just told me, yeah.
No, what I just told you, that was one of my memorable moments in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, no, in the beginning. That was one of my second memorable moments. That was a question that I just ended off with right before. That was a question for you. So I'll ask it again at the end when you're finished. So
you were asking me a question.
I was asking you a question. Yeah, I said, where do you want to go? What do you want to be with what you have?
I actually have my management A&R company, and I do want to help artists be able to elevate and get to the level they need to be at. And also I am looking to really like broaden my brand as well with my podcast and my show, and really go more into like media and journalism and stuff like that, like more on that side. And of course, already having the advertising and marketing and promotion aspect down, kind of goes hand in hand with that, with the journalism and media. So then I can kind of, level out and use both. But yeah, so that's what I was more so leaning towards. Like you were saying, manifestation. When I was in sixth grade, my sixth grade teacher told me, we had this little project we had to do on the cassette tape players, and we had to record like a weather forecast or something. And I did it, and she was like, "You're the best in the class." She raves everyone. She had everyone keep listening to it. And then she told me at the end of class, she was like, "You know what, Miss Melissa Flynn, you might not know this yet, but you," and I did at the time, I was in sixth grade. I'm just was like, whatever. Like, I didn't think nothing of it at the time, but she had said to me that stands out now more, which is, you would be a great broadcaster. You would be a great, whether it's in news or doing the weather or something like that, you would be great at broadcasting. And it's like always been a niche of mine. I realized even when I started doing live streaming, like I kind of was at a point with like breakdown, finding myself again type thing. And that's what made me start going on the apps, really just to kill some time and distract my mind, really. And then that's how my podcast came about. And then that's how I really realized I had a niche to connect with people. And how people were always, well, ever since like could remember, people were always drawn to just be able to come talk to me, tell me their life story, and just open up to me and be comfortable with me, and always just was a people person, very outgoing and everything. And it but just her telling me that stands out. Like when I got older, I just like, I look back on a lot of things and I was like, wow, I never even really, even for years, thought about that. And then it just came to me one day, like, wow, who would have, thought I would be doing like a podcast show, have nominations for my podcast, be doing some kind of broadcasting, like my sixth grade teacher told me.
that
So
I will
that's
be
something
doing this.
that stood out, that will always stand out now too, even more to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
That, and
the
then just thinking about
journey
taking your time and
to
sifting through your life.
I'm sorry.
Taking your time and sifting through, I said taking your time and sifting through your life,
Yeah.
you'll be able to see God in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go all the way back, even when the things are bad. I was just saying today, when I look at everything,
Mm-hmm.
if I do say so myself, he's had his hand in this.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Mm-hmm.
Because it was a time when I thought I wasn't gonna make it, but
Right,
you know,
most definitely.
yeah, I
Mhm.
and I apologize for rescheduling because
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. My
it
con
was really it wasn't
well, I know
impossible. Let
you're
me tell
I
you
hope
why.
everything's fine now with the situation.
Everything is fine, but it's another reason why. Your last name is Flynn, and as I looked at your pictures, you reminded me of one of my best friends. Her name is Kelly Flynn.
Really?
Yes. Her name is Kelly Flynn, and she has a sister named Jennifer. And Kelly passed away in 2016.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was like, oh, wow, she looks like Jen. You look exactly like her sister. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, Jacob, I got a headache. And then my best friend passed away right behind that. But
oh.
that was one of the reasons I was like, just hold on. Let me do a little bit of research first. Is this her? So that was it. And I saw how many
Mhm.
nominations that you had. And
Mhm.
I saw the road that you were traveling. And I'm like, okay, you in this hip hop thing for real. Got it. Got it.
Mhm.
And so yeah, you get your flowers too. You get your
Oh,
congratulations
thank
from
you.
me.
Well, that means a lot coming from you. Definitely. Thank you.
Tip of my hat too. Salute to you, Queen. Okay. I see you.
Thank
But yeah,
you. I definitely
yeah.
appreciate that, especially coming from a queen like yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I look at myself as for me to hear you say that, just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I've always been the girl next door. Like I'm
Mhm.
just the girl next door. Like I'm just really um I don't think of life
Mhm.
like that. There's a veil there somewhere.
Mhm.
And I think that it has to be there because I don't ever want to get beside myself,
Mhm.
ever.
Right.
Because people do.
Mhm. Oh,
People,
very true.
yeah, you be like, really? Don't do that. So I don't ever want to get beside myself. And I always
Mhm.
want to remain teachable.
Mhm.
But when it's most imperative for me to hear it,
Mhm.
to take me up, take me up sometimes because again, I'm human. Um,
Mhm.
and people, when you're a publicist, sometimes people think that you're Jesus or something, like I can make a miracle happen. Like, you know what I mean? I can't make that work.
Right, right,
So
right.
it's like I can't
Especially
even
if you're
talk.
not as talented as you think.
Yes, are. Oh, let's talk about some real stuff.
Like,
Oh, yes, girl. Listen, that was one of my problems. Like, I could never be an A&R. I love music, right? And someone was like, "Do you want to be an A&R?" Not me. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not scouting anybody. I'm not. And then my children are. My one of my sons he raps. So
okay.
he told me this is funny. He told me over the weekend that he loves for me to listen to his music because I'm honest with him. Because if it's some bullshit, I'm
Mhm.
gonna tell you like that's some crap. Like,
Right.
that is it's not gonna sell. You're not even gonna get an opener with it.
Mhm.
Nobody's gonna because you gotta figure when they go into that studio and the producers in there,
Mhm.
promoters in there, you know what I mean? The labels in there,
Right.
that vision that they have, you got about 10 seconds and a turn to
Mhm.
blow their minds if
Right.
they give you that much.
Right. Exactly.
So when I'm listening, if I hear if the intro's too long or if it's not exquisitely unique, I don't
Mhm.
want to hear it at all. Like I love R&B and I'll
Mhm.
listen to hip hop. I love hip hop. I came through the hip hop realm and the era,
Mhm.
but what I hear now,
Mhm.
that drill music is kind of hard for my soul. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Right.
Hard for my
I'm not
soul.
gonna lie, like my go-to is more so R&B and also still like worship music and stuff. Like I was raised in church,
Okay.
so God is a big part of my life. He's definitely, without him, I don't know where I would be. Probably not sitting here with you. So
Oh wow, I want to hear your story.
yeah, like there's been plenty of times he's definitely saved my life. Like I should have probably been gone like a couple times. So yeah, I definitely want to write a book too on my life.
What's the problem?
Not that I guess need to really find the time to sit down and do it and just like start taking the
How
notes
many
and
minutes
doing
in
it.
the morning when you wake up, after you go to sleep and you wake up and you sit down with your coffee and you wash your face, brush your teeth, and you thinking, and we got so much technology, honey, you don't even have to use your fingers to write. Just push the button and record what you're thinking.
Yeah, you're right. Instead of even writing, because I always used to love to write. Like my first passions were like photography and writing too.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like a year and a half ago, I messed up my wrist, and what was it? I tore something, they said, and it went up to my thumb too. So sometimes like writing a lot and stuff like that, like even just taking notes and stuff for the show and questions, like it starts, really bothering me. But that's also my neglect of, I need to go back to the doctor soon.
Yeah,
But
carpal tunnel could be what it is if you do a lot of writing.
it only really hurts a lot if I do a lot of writing. Yeah.
Carpal tunnel, that could be a symptom of carpal tunnel, or you pulled something or other, but it's best to go look at it. You don't want to.
Well, I did injure it. There was an injury. There was an incident where I injured it, and I had a cast on it, then a brace on it, and CT, the CAT scan, and I never even went back to get my results for my CAT scan. So I need to actually just go back and get all that taken care of. I get so busy with everything else and the kids and everything. And also that's another thing, you push through. That was another inspiring part of your story is I have 4 children of my own. So, knowing, you still, came out and, even with your kids or whatever, you didn't let that be a stumbling block. If anything, for me, I know my children are my motivation every day,
Mm-hmm.
to even get up sometimes.
I was very I have double what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a time when I didn't want to tell anybody that. And they know that. That's not a secret.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't embarrassed of my children. I was embarrassed of the act of how you get so many children. And
Mm-hmm.
people didn't make me feel the greatest about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, people are so judgmental.
They are. And I mean, they're so judgmental, but I want to give them a little bit of slack
Mm-hmm.
because it's abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one baby before you're 18, but three. I had 3
Mm-hmm.
children at 18. I had 5 at turning 21.
Oh.
So
Mm-hmm.
when we look at that, there were definitely my motivation for a whole lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of things. I
Mm-hmm.
was motivated. Um, I was motivated to do anything. These were mothers. I love my children, who
Mm-hmm.
have to do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk about being realistic and being educated and getting to another level, it's definitely hard
Mm-hmm.
when you have children and you
Oh
have
yeah.
so many, because
Mm-hmm.
at that point your life turns over. It no longer belongs to you.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Right.
life. Every you go into the store and you buy the kids stuff. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
um, things are different.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say, um, my kid's father, I tip my hat off to them. Um, my kid's father passed away. Uh, I tip my hat off to him. And then my last 3, like I don't
Mm-hmm.
have like a billion kids' fathers, but you know what I'm saying? I have the 5, and then I have the 3, and then he's
Mm-hmm.
still living. But he just became a paraplegic, not a paraplegic. I'm sorry, he just became amputated
Mm-hmm.
because of a rare medicine mistake. But he started Can I Live Entertainment in Springfield, Illinois, and he still makes beats. So I tip my head salute to him too.
Definitely salute and my condolences.
Salute to him, and he deals with my boys
Mm-hmm.
on their level. We're friends.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could turn back the hands of time, I can honestly say I probably at this age would have had my children, but I definitely, they wouldn't be the age. My oldest is 32.
Mm-hmm.
My baby is
Mm-hmm.
about to be 18. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna tell my age. Yes, I will. I'm 47. Yes, I will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 47 and I'm loving it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
loving everything about it because I can see clearly now. And it's so
Mm-hmm.
amazing
Amen to
because
that.
yes,
Right.
learn just seeing, like, you understand. I'm starting to understand things like, wow, it's just this
Mhm.
world is, it's a gift to be here. And I
Yeah,
know that.
definitely.
So
Hmm.
yeah, if you made it anywhere with 4 kids, I must salute you again because two is not easy. You
Hmm.
know, you got to have two because you can't have just one and the other. They don't got nobody to play with. You got to try it again. But if you can make it in spite of situations that happen now,
Hmm.
because just because you have a kid by somebody doesn't mean that you're gonna get married or be together. If you know anything about that,
Oh,
you
most definitely. A little bit too
know
much
you.
about that. Yep, yep.
And
Yes,
as long
yes,
as you
yes.
stay
I
well,
would say that that'd be the only thing I'd probably change though, and I'm not even I don't even care that I'm saying it on here, is that like if I was to probably change anything, you know, well maybe I shouldn't say that on here. It
right,
would
I
be
changed who
maybe
their father is.
who their father is. That's what I was
What I can say is, I can say that
gonna say.
even though they didn't like me, they may not have liked me. I was a totally different person
Hmm.
than who I am right now. And my kid's father that's
Very true.
he
Hmm.
he often says, "Man, like, who are you again?" Like, I'm someone
Hmm.
totally different.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to the universe for that because whoever I was prior to now, even if they didn't like me so much, I can honestly
Hmm.
say my kids come from a good pedigree. Their fathers
Hmm.
love them, and I'm grateful for that. They might not have treated me well all the time, but they love their kids, and I always
Right.
give them that grace.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome, most definitely. It's always good too to have that kind of support as well, for sure.
Hmm.
So,
Absolutely. All around family, the mom, the grandmother, grandfather, uncles, aunts. It definitely takes a village, especially when you're
mhm,
young like that. Like, I was young. I was a
mhm,
kid. You know what I mean? When I look at the picture, I can barely look at the pictures that their grandmother has of
mhm,
me when I was that pregnant and that young. It just keep it that nervous breakdown I had. And like, yet I said I'm back and
mhm,
I can remember everything, but it stirs up feelings like it's just so overwhelming for me to see myself like that. And I
mhm.
know when I look at a 13-year-old and I'm like, whoa, she a baby. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The things that you go
Mhm,
through in life as a
mhm,
young person and the things that you should be doing,
mhm,
um, and the things that I was doing, um, just it doesn't compare to the life that I live right now and the
mhm,
life that my children live, and I'm grateful for that. You know,
mhm,
it took a lot of me bowing down for me to break generational curses and a lot of pain for me
mhm,
to break generational curses for my kids to be where they are
mhm.
today in life. I mean, and
Right.
I'm grateful for that because who knows what they would have been or where they would have been had I had complete control over that young. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. You think you're grown, but I wasn't. I wasn't grown at all. I
Yeah,
was
you
definitely.
always think you're grown when you're a teenager and you don't even know a thing about life, really.
At
And
all. Have no idea about life.
mhm.
No,
Yeah.
I did.
And it's
So
definitely,
interesting.
I feel like good now to like embrace your age. Like I used to always, I don't even know why, but I used to always be scared to turn 40. And now though that I'm 40, like that was my number where I was like so scared to turn 40. But now that I'm 40, I'm like,
Why?
I'm loving it. Like I embrace it more now
Girl,
because it's
what?
like I do,
Wait.
I'm so much more experienced, so much more as far as wisdom, so much smarter. so much more clear-minded, so much more mature, to a point where, I've definitely lived and learned, from all my mistakes, and definitely have just grown and elevated in so many ways. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, before I used to be so scared of it, and now I embrace it more, because I feel like, the older you get, the more wisdom you have, the smarter you are,
Yes.
and the more experienced you are. Sometimes young people don't want to listen to older folks, but it's actually, be a smart thing for them to listen, because it's things maybe we've been through or experienced, or advice or wisdom we can give a younger generation too, to help them if they're receptive. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, I guess, I don't know, 40 was so scary for me for some reason, but now, like, I embrace it more. And and people are like, wow, you're 40, no way. And I would always get this reaction when I tell people I have 4 kids. Even they'd be like, oh wow, that's a lot of kids in sport.
Right.
So
I'm like,
so
really? Like, man, that's not a lot. That's okay. 4 kids and two
yeah,
and two,
like,
whatever.
I
Yeah.
mean, I would get that all the time, because it's not 2 or 3, I guess. I don't know.
People
But
are so rude. I mean, like, what does
they
that
are rude.
mean?
Like,
That's
I don't even know what that
like, I got a
means.
son with 15 kids. Like, seriously, my grandmother had 22. I mean, granted, we don't have a farm or anything like that. So there's no
Mhm.
need for that many kids. Back then they were having kids to help them with the farm and help them do certain
Right.
things. So, but why were you condemned? I mean, were you young like me? Were you really young, or like why were you condemned at that
I've gotten
age?
that
That they
reaction
have
so many I've got that reaction so many times from so many different people, even over the years. I was 20 when I had my first kid, 19 when I got pregnant, and 20 when I had her. So, I don't know. I don't know, like, even just over the years, like, I've heard it from more than once or twice. It's just like, that's such a big number. Like, 4 kids is not allowed. And it was 2 different relationships that were actual
Mhm.
long relationships. So, people
Right.
that I didn't think I was going to be with.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. Like, people are just so rude, I guess. That's the only way to
They're
answer.
weird. They're so weird. And they're so weird. Some people don't have children, but for when I see 20, for me, 20, like
Mhm.
20 is like, it's okay, baby. If you did graduate, if you didn't graduate, 20 is almost 21. You're an adult. You know what I mean? You
Right.
do
Mhm.
14 or 15. In
Mhm.
between those years and 20, like you did so much more growing physically, mentally before you even got impregnated. I
Right.
was literally think about your age. Think
Mhm.
about 13 and 14. You're like in 8th grade. What are you don't even get to
Right.
algebra yet. What do you know right now? What are you doing?
Right. In
You got
eighth
a
grade,
baby.
I just wanted to graduate and get to high school and just hang out with my friends. Like, yeah, that was the last thing on my mind, even.
Like
Yeah,
getting
at the
your
time.
license is a big deal when you're that age. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, oh, I can't wait till I'm
exactly.
16. I can't wait
And get my
till,
license.
driver's license.
Yep.
I'm like, birthing babies. You know what I'm saying? And so that caused me
I
to
mean,
have
you know
a
what? That makes your
selective.
experience even that much more inspiring. Like, that just makes it
And
that much more.
yeah, now,
Yeah.
yeah, now
Now,
it's
maybe not
the
at that
scary
time.
story. No,
But
no,
no,
like
we definitely don't condone or say anyone should be pregnant at 13, but things happen, life
no,
happens.
absolutely not. I suggest
Life
that you
happens.
graduate college,
Right.
build up your credit,
Mm-hmm.
have life have life in store, travel a little bit, find
Mm-hmm.
out if you even want kids, because by that time you may not want them.
Right.
Live a
That's
little
very true.
bit.
That's good advice.
I feel like my daughter is 30, and this
Mm-hmm.
is her first baby, her
Mm-hmm.
first pregnancy. Nomi's almost here. Um, I think that's a good age. I can see her traveling, sorority, college. She's done all these things.
Right. Mm-hmm.
When you're stepping into motherhood, there's no book, there's no training, there's nothing that can be said that
Right.
can get you ready for this baby.
Right. Definitely not.
So
Books,
the
like you said.
older you get,
Mm-hmm.
and the financially stable is very imperative.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Because if it wasn't for my parents back then,
Mm-hmm.
his parents, him, I don't know. I mean, I knew what I would have done now because I was doing it. But I mean, for some people, it's a fearful, like Pampers milk. You know what I mean? Like, think
Yeah,
about
most
that.
definitely. Yeah, most definitely. I definitely didn't know what I was going to do even at 20. Working part-time, living at my parents. I actually wasn't staying home from 16 to 19. What made me go home and really make up with my mom at the time was I was pregnant. I was 19 and pregnant, and I was lost.
And afraid, like pregnant and afraid.
Afraid,
That should be
afraid,
that should be a movie.
afraid more than lost. I was in,
Yes, afraid.
like now I
Afraid is
want
what we're
my
doing.
mom.
Yes, and when you grow up, no matter how much you fight, I did too. I did too. And she hated me. I know oh God. But now that I'm older, bear with me for a second.
Mm-hmm. This is probably one of my best interviews. Everyone, make sure you guys go follow Nicole M. Jordan, CEO of the Exquisite PR firm. So much experience in her field and her craft with business journalism and everything in between, from radio interviews at award shows, everything you can think of. And school, her master's in business and journalism, graphic design. Definitely already a amazing career for sure. And let's see, let's see, trying to see, what did I ask already? And check them off my list here. So I had a lot of questions. Hmm. Okay, I think, but she's already pretty much answered some of my questions just talking. What's some of it? Yeah. Okay. Let me see. So, guys, while we're waiting though, some entertainment news. I'll do that right now while we're waiting. Um, I am now owner of a female battle rap league, Queen Visions Battle League. Please hit me up if you're a female battle rapper that's serious about her craft and looking to join a league. We are a somewhat newer league, and I'm recruiting a whole new team of females. Also, we do have management available, possibly, and always marketing, advertising, and promotional campaigns, radio campaigns, all those things to help an artist level up, or even a business or entrepreneur if you're trying to get your business out there. Definitely hit me up. We could still, even make a radio commercial for your business as well and let it run on the radio, different things of that nature, billboard advertisements, the sky's the limit. So many different things we could do, but that's just a few things here and there. Also, 2 more days left, a day and a half left now, up until the 28th. You can still vote for me for PR Marketer of the Year, Event Promoter of the Year, and Podcast Radio Host of the Year for the 3rd annual She Who Inspires Me Awards ceremony. So please make sure y'all tap on the link. I have it on my TikTok and other platforms, but I'll make sure I drop it too again after the show on all my platforms. We only have till the 28th to vote, and then voting's cut off. And then the award ceremony is in April. So then I'll be crossing my fingers till April, hoping we won one of the nominations. But I'm still honored to be in a category in each category with such other amazing, phenomenal women too. Definitely honored and very, very honored and grateful for the nominations as well. So I was just giving some entertainment news and different things while you were taking care of that. So.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I apologize. I had no idea. I just have to get used to getting back in the game.
You're good. You're good. I love dogs.
That is not a dog. That's a human being, and it's just barks. He is huge. He is huge. Huge. So and it's not my dog, it's my daughter's dog. And I just told her, like, I am not dog sitting. He's nowhere to be found in this house. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay. So yeah, I apologize for that.
It's no problem, no problem.
I was just
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to give you my undivided attention, and I'm really enjoying talking to you. Like, it seems so real, like it seems really natural. And that's what I love. That's what I love. You give me the ability to be myself, you know, where I'm not talking like this. And how are you?
Definitely. I'm very laid back, chill. I'm a very real person. Some people love me for it. Some people might not like me for how real I am. Like, it's funny what you said earlier. Like, I did a Facebook post recently, like, don't ask me how your music is if you really don't want my honest opinion, because some people can't handle maybe what they don't want to hear, you know, or, you know, a lot of people get pumped
up. Really good, and they're
right. Not. That's another post I did, like, stop pumping up artists that really ain't artists or really aren't as good as you're pumping them up to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone is meant for it. Like, what is it? Maybe 1 out of 100 or 1,000 even. So at the end of the day, you know, when it comes down to it, and the crazy thing is like you were saying, like, I was in a couple Zoom meetings before or something, and I'll just sit there, you know, not say nothing, being newer, and I'm like, wow, oh my God, within 20 seconds, like you said, within 20 seconds, they're shutting down that song. I'm like, they didn't even let them get to the hook or to the take the song at least a little more.
Yes. And then, you know, they feel bad, but that doesn't mean that the next one will be better. That's not what that means. You know what I'm saying? Right. Sometimes you're just a producer. Sometimes you're the beat maker. Sometimes, you know, you're the hype man, and that's it. Sometimes, you know, it's just like basketball. Like, it's wide and small in between. Everybody's not gonna make it.
Right. Most definitely. It is small and in between, and
it's pricey. It's pricey.
Very expensive business. And if you don't have the budget, you need to work on your budget, definitely.
At least the first year, like, because what have you ever did a breakdown of, like, what it is for an artist?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's thousands of dollars. Like, it's super expensive. I don't think some artists realize really how expensive it is until you really start trying to show them the business aspect, show them really the breakdown of, like, well, this is how much this is how much this is. Like, even if I can even get you lower prices over here for this and this, it's still going to be, you know, a lot of money. So it's like, you know, I think it's great that people that are real talented, are passionate about it, or are still doing it, even if they don't have the budget, but they need to definitely work on their budget. And some artists just need to prioritize their budget. Spending on the wrong things, like spending on chains and stuff like that, or surgeries, instead of spending on your promo package or your promo campaign or your press release or your radio campaign, or different things like that. Like, it's prioritizing their budget too. So you might have a little budget, even if it is a few $100s a month, you know, give me something to work with. We can't work with nothing.
You're supposed to be pretty, and you're supposed to flaunt your stuff and go get them to the bag. For some reason, they feel like the publisher is supposed to get them to the bag. We don't get you to the bag.
No.
Listen, we don't get you to the bag. That's not my job. My job is not to get you to the bag. My job is to keep you in front of the media, keep you in front of people. Get you licensing syncs. Is that my job or is that the manager's job? You know what I mean? If you can, then great. Depending on the relationship that you have with the manager and the client, yeah, you got to work your number, how you work your number. And you can't, you got to have a budget. They buy shoes, they buy weed, they buy drinks, they buy party, all the time party. But publicist gets paid at the end. We get paid last. They don't even think about that until it's time. Oh, well, you didn't give me this magazine. Oh, well, you didn't, it's a lot. And it has made me almost feel like throwing in the towel a few times. But I can't stop thinking about it. So I know that I'm supposed to be here. I just need to know where I was supposed to be at when I was going through those things. And the manner of how you handle people and how you let people handle you, you can't you have to go in and tell people what's going on and what's going to happen and how is it going to work. And this is what's going to be said. And this is how you're going to say it. And you don't want to have to do any crisis management. So chill out. These people like you have to, and not be so nice. It was a time that I was a lot more passive than I am right now. I don't know if they pushed me over the edge or if I've just had enough, because listen, that's not how this shit go at all. I've noticed that people of younger people have came in and kind of situated they kind of just kind of made things how they wanted to work, and then really solidify it, put a stamp on it, and push it. It's not how it goes at all. Like, you missing everything business wise, bylaws. What? Ain't nothing happening. Not even
They don't understand. Really what goes into all the business, what it really entails. Peace and blessings from King Jacob checking in. Definitely shout out to my bro King Jacob with the Chatterbox podcast. Make sure y'all check out King Jacob with the Chatterbox podcast. He's definitely has a dope podcast and a lot of great topics. Check him out.
Absolutely, he does. King Jacob is the bomb. Yes, he is.
He is the bomb. And definitely shout out to Jay Pyro. Pyro is actually one of my artists that's been one of my day one artists that believed in me even before I had my company. So definitely shout out to Pyro.
Absolutely.
And definitely shout out to Red Pill Rage channel.
Okay, hey.
Look up an interview for you too on the Red Pill Rage channel. He has the YouTube and he's on Twitch, travel, and all that stuff too, because he games as well, but he does a podcast too.
Oh, okay.
And
tap in.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely shout out to my children. That's my oldest son. He just turned 18 on Wednesday. Amazing interview. My top supporters are definitely my children, and I gotta definitely give them their shout out because they're always quiet when mommy's doing a show and everything too.
And you guys, I'm top. Hats off to everybody. This isn't easy. Definitely. This isn't easy. You gotta love doing this.
Oh, for sure.
If you put yourself in a situation, or if you rob Peter to pay Paul to do something in this industry, you love doing this.
Oh, definitely. I think I did find my passion and my love. I definitely have a love and passion for it.
But you're a publicist as well, right?
Pardon?
You're a publicist as well.
Yes, and I definitely have a passion for this. It's just it does get hard, especially dealing with artists that don't realize like how much business it does entail and how much money it really does take. If they really want the magic, they look at you to try to make happen, you know?
Right.
So I've actually felt a couple times, even throwing the towel in myself, like, you know, just out of frustration, just for that factor alone, you know?
Yes.
And, you know, them just really not realizing like, okay, well, I can put my brand out there, my name out there as much as I want, and I can have everyone looking at me and my agency. But if my artists aren't causing static, then what is, don't let all my work go in vain either. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't think like I didn't put thousands of dollars already in my company either, or all
Absolutely.
the, time and energy and effort that I put in every day just to keep my company going and stay afloat.
Absolutely. That overhead, baby, you better keep it low.
Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, I just feel like that's my main frustration right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like in
Yeah, because you invest. I think that you sound similar to me when I first started. Like I invested in my clients.
mm-hmm.
I invested in my clients. I'm a publicist and I'm investing in my clients, meaning I'm part of the money part of the team too. So that's that
Mm-hmm.
investment part.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm feeling like I should get this other type of respect as well. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because I
Like
am
if I'm
invested.
doing all these things for you, show me the respect and
Right,
loyalty I deserve, and at
right.
least
That's
represent
not now
me in
in
the
my life.
agency. Right.
That's not now in my life. For like the last 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. I'm not. I haven't had. Well, no, I'm telling a lie. I have had that happen. But the crew that's around me and that's been around me
Mm-hmm.
for these last 4 or 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
we haven't. Nobody has done that. I have an amazing clientele.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's because I fire people too now. I fire clients.
Yeah. I think
Private.
I'm too nice right now. I've been too nice.
Oh
And
no!
then
Listen,
when I stand on
someone told
business
me
and I
something
have
that
to let
matters.
someone go, they don't like me anymore. And it's like it's
Oh
not that
yeah, girl, you're gonna be everybody under the sun as soon as you
I know
tell
I'm
someone
like
that.
I know I'm like I know I realized you can't be nice to
You
everybody. You
didn't
gotta
do
stick
this, you
to
didn't do
certain
that. She ain't this. She couldn't get us here. We couldn't get to the South by Southwest on her name. All of that. You know how it go. Soon as
Yeah,
you let
but
them
that's
go.
right, that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, like I realize artists that are really serious, they're gonna also realize the kind of budget it takes. Because I have met artists, had the pleasure of meeting artists that understand what it takes and has the budget, or at least work towards the budget to invest in themselves. And actually, even if their budget's $350 a month or something, at least you're giving me something to work with. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's
It's gonna work.
yeah, like put to work what you can give me, at least try. Like it's like at least put in that effort.
Nothing.
You can't
And
expect
if
me
there's
to put
something
in
wrong,
the
say
effort.
something.
You're not. Pardon?
Right. If there's something wrong, say something. If you can't come up with it, if you don't have it, this is the worst feeling in the world
Right.
right here. For
Mm-hmm.
you to meet somebody and they be a bomb ass artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, they're looking for you. They're looking for a publicist. They need a publicist. I know you heard this story before.
Mm-hmm.
We heard and we need a publicist. We got to have a
Mm-hmm.
publicist. And we do all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't get past the first month because of your budget. So when I'm
Right.
asking you your budget, you feel like I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny. It's 10 of you or
Right.
7 of you guys.
It's a
So how am I
business.
supposed to work off how am I supposed to
Right.
work off a $350 budget and it's 10 of you
Exactly.
guys?
Exactly.
Like everybody's charging now to be on the radio, to be in a magazine. Back in the day, they used to not do that. That was part of promo. But in order
Right.
for you to get anywhere now, in order for me to get on the red carpet, guess what? I have to pay a membership fee.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Right.
get on the red carpet without paying $100 a month. And guess
Mm-hmm.
what? Even with that $100 a month, until I have 250 hours of interview time out here, they still
Mm-hmm.
don't let us in. Do you
Really?
think that
See, I
when,
didn't even know that.
yes, brother, yes, you can't get on the red carpet, you can't get to the Grammys, you can't get to the Hoodie Awards or anything. It's a protocol behind that. $150 a month, $100 membership. And the first time you don't pay, it's over with. So in order for you to get your clients on there, you have to have a membership. And then you don't
See,
even get your clients on there. That's just registering them for them to get in the building. And that's a maybe. Girl,
right,
yeah. And you still got
right,
$50 a month. They don't care. Don't pay.
right.
You will be off the list and you'll be starting over.
Seeing those
Yes,
other
it's
kinds of
real.
things that, yeah, a lot of people don't even know or realize. Like, this business is expensive. Expensive. It's
It's
not cheap.
very, yes.
It definitely
Yeah,
is.
while you
So,
got that nice chain
yes,
on.
you know what? I gotta say, I thank God for people that He has put in my life so far, along my journey so far, that have poured into me and given me opportunities and, help school me and teach me even on different things, because like, shout out to Shakia Yancey, by the way, aka Ricochet. She's the artist too. That's her artist name, but she has ETF Entertainment LLC, and
Mhm.
she's actually had invited me to the second annual She Inspires Me award ceremony last year as my podcast to interview the guests on the red carpet. So to
Oh,
even,
wow.
yeah, be able to, like, I was honored, definitely honored. And then the event itself, just celebrating women, it was just such a beautiful experience. So definitely I want
Absolutely.
to salute
Absolutely.
to her and shout out to her for that, because those aren't opportunities that come every day, something like that. So,
Right.
definitely appreciate it. And then this year, now I have three nominations, so for the same award
Oh,
ceremony.
wow. Okay. Congratulations. Look at you.
Yeah,
Look
so
at
most
you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like super excited, and I thank God for, and people don't realize how grateful, I don't think I really am. I don't think they realize how grateful I am that they even pour into me, because Exquisite PR firm checking in. Jacob's so awesome.
Yes.
He really is.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think I'll look that up. I want to see what that award is about. Because I can give a shout out to so many people, that have, brought me a long way, just with knowledge. My
Mhm,
clients, for one, I got legendary Big Vid Nappy Roots, um,
mhm,
legendary Theo Huff. I got Jay Waiters. Wow. Big
mhm,
Frank 302. Big Frank has been with me since the beginning, and I thank him so much. So knowledgeable. Um,
mhm,
and just the managers that have just really taught me. You know what I mean?
mhm,
He's King of the Beats out of Kentucky. Um, we can go all the way down to Florida. EGO Entertainment,
mhm,
Cheryl Dunlap. The list goes on. Wow.
mhm,
So many people here in Chicago, that are of like the clothing brands, giving me the ability to walk through, Black Hair Expo and just cover the expo years ago.
mhm,
You know what I mean? CBS and NBC in Chicago.
mhm.
Going in there and letting me see the reading room, the things that I needed to see to turn my flip on. You know what I mean? To turn it on for me. Um,
Right.
I'm very grateful for them.
Mhm.
So many people, you grateful for you giving me an opportunity to be on your show to talk to you. You know what I mean? And then I'm pretty sure we'll stay in collaboration after this, because I like to network, and build family and teams. Just a lot of women that have pushed through this industry doing public relations.
Mhm.
I salute them, the top dogs, PR pros, you know, um, Miss Pearson. She knows who she is,
Mhm.
and even, rest in heaven, Dr. Johnson, not even knowing who I was, and making me who I am,
Mhm.
giving me something, And now that, I'm here,
Mhm.
my mind is where it is. People have no idea. You know
Right.
what I've learned is that people don't treat you how you want to be treated. People treat you how
Mhm.
you act.
Mhm.
And so me and my giddy personality that comes along with, the other part of me,
Mhm.
I can say, the giddy kind. It can probably be nerve wracking, when I listen to things, or if I go back and I'm like, oh, I probably was getting on their nerves a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, but then there's Pavani J, and she has been able to step in, and I've been able to use her as an alter ego, and it's
Mhm.
got me so much further. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm
Mhm.
grateful for that. I'm grateful to the universe for that. So yeah. Yeah.
Most definitely has been a pleasure chopping it up with you and conversating with you.
Absolutely.
Is there, I had read you were seeking your credentials with the PRSA and the IABC. May I ask,
Uh-huh.
what exactly, for those that don't know, do those initials stand for?
Those are the top, those initials are the top. I don't want to even say them wrong. I know it's public, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
relations, social, I believe it's social association, but that's
Mm-hmm.
the top of the line. That's the top certificate you can get. And I want it in public relations. And I don't know if I'm there yet because I heard that it was hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
Really hard to get. I seen one person get that, and her name is Renika Ann out of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But I've yet to see anybody else like that I know,
Mm-hmm.
that I know of. Like even Renika Ann, I know of her and I trained under her. Like I
Mm-hmm.
took a lot of her courses or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
she's the only one that I know thus far that has that. But you can get it, and it can put you up in the game when it comes to B2B. So, like if you wanted to work for IBM, or if you wanted to work for Cash App, or if you wanted to work for any AI company and
Mm-hmm.
be that representative, I'm pretty sure that that certificate can walk you in the door of covering and garnering their public relations department. Um,
Oh.
yeah, and so that's what that can do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that certificate can do for you, because you don't have to go to college for public relations.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to college to be a ghostwriter or a journalism if that's one of your gifts.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something that I don't even know why I took that up. Oh, because of Pamela. When I first went to college the first time, I took it because because I was covering the Rice Awards, the Steeple Awards, all those major. They got major awards in Atlanta, and
Mm-hmm.
those are the awards that I was covering. And in order for me to cover these awards and know what I'm doing and be on point,
Mm-hmm.
was something that I had to get into, and that was one of the courses that I had to take, and I had to have it as a major. So I did that for a little while. But business is very important in marketing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I have as my major now: business marketing with
Mm-hmm.
emphasis on psychology. I'm interested in the mind and body language,
Mm-hmm.
and graphic design. Well, my minor is psychology and with an emphasis on graphic design, only because I think that that's something that I'm going to have to, eventually, like we can all do things on Canva, so on and so forth, but just to get a little more in depth, if I wanted to lock
Mm-hmm.
up the book or something so people can't steal it. Like for instance, the
Right.
way you have your podcast, I think that's gorgeous, Seductive Peach, and you
Mm-hmm.
lock that in, hold it up so nobody can get in. Just those little things that I just want to know about
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, I'm very creative,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not that creative where I can just sit down and I have an eye to draw, and I'm so envious of people who can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm creative on other things with great ideas and
Mm-hmm.
the way things look and like stuff like that. So yeah.
My 20-year-old's my artist. She can draw her butt off since she was like 8 years old. 10 years, like the progression from then till now is just
Mhm.
amazing. And now
Mhm.
she likes to do it out with the pen on her phone a lot. And I try to tell her, like, why can't you just do it on paper still? Like, because I have like all her old notebooks showing her progression
Yeah.
over the years for
Yeah.
her drawing. And now she's just more on the phone with a lot of her drawings and stuff. But different characters, like just everything she does amazing. I had her make me a little like cartoon character for Seductive Peach.
Uh-huh.
So
I
she
mean,
made me like
just
this
if
little drawing.
is she left-handed or right-handed?
I right-handed. She's right-handed too.
Okay. Okay. My baby's left-handed, and
I had
she's
to
very
think
good
because
at.
her father's left-handed, so I had to think, wait, is she
Okay.
left-handed? But no, she's right-handed.
Yeah, my daughter's really good too with like just building things. My youngest
Mhm.
daughter is, and she's struggling right now with what she gonna do. She's went from hair to nails to cooking to whatever. And I'm telling her, honey, you can draw. You have a
Right.
creative spark.
Right.
Just you can make flyers, and all the flyers she makes potato chip bag logos and so on and so forth. And I'm thinking to myself, if you were to do that and pitch yourself to someone like
Mm-hmm.
maybe like someone higher up,
Right.
and they have a food brand, you might be able to do that for them. You know what I'm saying? That's how you have to, this, you have to write you an email and go
Yeah,
in and you
you
have
have
to
to
pitch yourself.
right.
You
Mm-hmm.
gotta put yourself out there. No one's gonna say they don't even know about you. You know what I mean? It's so
Right.
many people
Yeah.
doing this. So, you gotta put
Mm-hmm.
yourself out there and get out of the house, which what I'm working on this year,
Yeah. That's what I'm working on too this year.
getting out of the house, South by
Mhm.
Southwest and all these other major events. And um yeah, I'm into other things as well too, like I do grants. I'm a grant writer. And
Mhm.
so that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing for years too, 2013. So my people, I hired people to go out and do these other things. And I was 383 pounds.
Mhm.
So I didn't want anybody to see me. I was so big. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? I got so sick of people saying, "Oh, you got a pretty face."
Mhm.
Because I was like dragging ass everywhere I went. Like, you know, can't breathe. I'm carrying the camera. I'm like, I got to do something about this weight. Girl, oh God. So,
Well, you look great now, 388. I would have never even thought in a
well,
million
I lost a
years.
lot of weight. I had that
Yeah.
surgery, and I lost a lot of weight. I got down to the smallest I've ever been since I probably was 12, 172. Um, and then I
That's
picked weight up from being stressed out. But this is the
mhm.
smallest I've been in years, but I feel good. I feel
Definitely, definitely. That's amazing. That's awesome. But also,
thank you.
you do put on weight, and get a stomach even just from having children too. Like, I don't think people realize really what a toll it takes on a woman to even have a child and how her body changes so much and drastically during the time
I am
you're
so
yeah.
yes, I am so mad at people who don't have stomachs after they have all these children.
I
Like,
know.
how is that
I'm so jealous. Like, wait, how? Like, were you working out when you were pregnant? Like, what is
blood? Right.
right,
Like, how do you have like not a cooch pooch or nothing? You know what I'm saying? Right.
right. Like you had to be working out when you were pregnant, girl. Like that's what you
Yes,
do.
yes, something, because I don't even know how that happens. Like, you have a whole baby in there, like big baby. So like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I had big babies for the most part too. My first two, or I should say both my girls were my real big babies, mostly. But I think that was all my questions I had for you for the most part. You actually, in us talking, answered some of them already. So
That's
um,
only because I was nervous. I'm nervous and I'm just chatting and talking. I'm sorry if I'm talking over you.
oh no, 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 no. I was gonna apologize because I might have interrupted you a couple times, but I do enjoy talking to you and learning more about your story. Do you have any shout outs you want to give, and also your platforms? Tell everyone where they can find you to seek any kind of services.
Okay. So you guys can find me at www.exquisite, and that's EXQUISITEPR, the number 4 and the letter U.com. That's exquisiteprforyou.com. That's my website. And everything is branded with Exquisite. Instagram, Exquisite PR for You, and Exquisite PR for You number 2. That's the second page. Um, but I also want you guys to follow a couple of other pages. If you guys can go and follow Exquisite Conversation, and then be on the lookout for On the Mic with Pavani J. Let's see, what else do we have? I can't even do a rundown on all the clients. We might want to come back for that, but you can just run down Instagram and you can go and look at um, Big V and the Nappy Roots. You can go look at Theo Huff.
Mhm.
You can look at King Jacob. You guys can go to his page. You guys will always see exquisite conversation there. You guys can always tap in. If you can't tap in on the website, feel free to go to the DM and
Mhm.
tap in with me. I talk back.
And definitely shout out to King Jacob again and the Exquisite PR firm. And it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Shout out to Big V with Nappy Roots. I had him on my show twice within the last couple of years. And he's a delight to have on the show as well. So definitely always a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Shout out to Jay Waiters, to Big Frank 302. They were a pleasure to have on the show. You know, I appreciate you, having them scheduled on here. Definitely shout out to King Jacob for helping set those interviews up too. And shout out to everybody. Shout out to Tony Merritt with Mobbed Up Records and Tony the Star, like HHQ Magazine, HHQ. He does everything. So shout out to him. He actually does the most amazing flyers and graphics, and he's the one who I have to give a shout out for this wonderful, beautiful border that I have.
Yes, you gotta have Tony tap in with me then, because yes, it looks great. I love it.
I definitely will. I'll give him your info and let him know you said that, because he actually helped me create this, and he actually took this logo in the middle from a flyer he made me, which was like a general, like original podcast flyer for me. And he had put this picture that he had of me that I gave him on the flyer with like that whole logo set up with everything else, for the flyer. But then he incorporated it with this. So I thought that was pretty cool how he incorporated it too with the template. So it kind of matched up too. And he's amazing with his flyers and everything. And like when it comes to, like, I call it Tony's touch. I joke with him because like his work stands out.
Yes.
Like you'll tell his work apart from other people's. Like he'll still get all your info in there without it looking too cluttered or scattered or anything, So he definitely does good work, and I'll give him your info for sure, or his info.
Absolutely.
You guys,
because I like the way I love the peaches and how they have the water coming off of them a little bit. I was like, okay, all right.
Yes. And then when I first seen it, I was like, oh my God, you know me so well. I love it.
The whole thing, now that I spoke to you, is definitely you. Everything that I see, he got you down to a T. I love it. It's perfect.
Definitely. Thank you. And I definitely love it. So definitely shout out to him. And also shout out to him for, he's been schooling me actually really a lot on the business in general and radio and stuff. And he's been an amazing attribute in my life as well. So in my career. So I definitely got to give him a big shout out. Shout out to everybody that supports us, because we can go down the list of names forever. So shout out to everyone that supports us and that pours into us. We love you guys. And definitely make sure you guys subscribe to Seductivepeach YouTube. Make sure you guys go follow Miss Nicole M. Jordan with the Exquisite PR firm. Definitely amazing talking to you. Please feel free to reach out anytime so we can even chop it up behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And everyone have a blessed night. I am going to have some more. Well, I did already start putting out some more flyers. We have a few more podcast interviews coming up that are already booked. So stay tuned. I'm actually going to be having on, we just scheduled Theo Huff for March 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So everyone stay tuned for that. We have one March 2nd with Q Dutchy, an artist, and then the July Baby. It's an artist on the 9th as well. But you guys can go look on my page and find all those flyers and everything. But we, stay tuned, because Peach is definitely back at it. I'm going to also be starting back up my Monday mental health awareness as well, which I feel like is also a big discussion not a lot of people are having. And if you ever even want to come join the panel, I would love to have you on. I'm actually trying to find different,
I can contribute a lot. Absolutely.
Definitely. I would love to have different panelists on the show like every week for the mental health awareness. I had took a little break and just started really getting back to my show a couple months ago, because I had been going through some things, lost my brother in October, my dad 3 years ago, just all kinds of different crazy stuff. So I definitely just been trying to tap back into everything and get back at it. So I'm starting my Mondays back up, looking for different panelists that might want to join and hop on.
Absolutely.
I always welcome anyone to come on, whether it's an artist or anybody that just wants to maybe share their story or maybe share, how people can deal with a loved one with mental health, or even if you have your own mental health experience you want to talk about, or how you cope with your situation, or we just talk about all those kinds of things, really staying focused on mental health mainly. And I might look up some facts on mental health, and I'll read those, and then we kind of just give like our take on those facts as well. So
Okay, absolutely. I'm so down. I'm so down. I think that mental health is a huge topic, and I think that it's a big deal, and it's not being spoken. It's not being spoke about like it should be. Definitely, 2025 is a mass calling for a call to action for mental health awareness. So yeah, I'm definitely in.
Awesome, definitely. And I appreciate that. I would love to be honored to have you as a panelist. So everyone, you guys definitely stay tuned for that. I'll be making a new flyer for that and everything. I have a couple other panelists too. So as soon as I get like the two other to confirm as well, I'm going to make a flyer with everyone's picture on it too. So, and then every single week, we'll just have to agree really on a time everyone's available, and then I'll have the flyer for everyone. So definitely get that started too. But definitely, please feel free to reach out anytime. It was a pleasure to finally meet you and talk with you.
Thank you so much, and you as well. And this isn't it. This isn't it. We'll be talking after this. So not today, but probably tomorrow. But we're gonna keep in touch. I'm vibing with you.
Most stuff. I appreciate it. You too. Everyone have a blessed night. Definitely appreciate everyone's support. Don't forget, check out Nicole M. Jordan, CEO Nicole M. Jordan,
Thank you.
with the Exquisite PR firm. I know how important that is to me, so I had to correct myself.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's hard work. Yes.
Definitely is hard work, and you deserve all the flowers of the world. And I think you've done amazing so far. And actually, one last question that just reminded me of before we wrap it up.
Go ahead.
Is there anything else you hope to still accomplish that you haven't accomplished yet? Because even
absolutely. My biggest thing to accomplish will be getting to the awards of the PRSA and being awarded for being a publicist, a world-renowned publicist, like like the kind of publicist that Michael Jackson had, and we had to find them.
right.
That's the type of publicist I always wanted to be. So I'm trying to get there, and if that's not the case, to be a successful entrepreneur at its highest peak and help hundreds of millions of people. I know that to whom much is given, much is required. So that's my goal.
Definitely a great answer. Definitely a great answer for sure. And I look forward to that. And I know you're going to do it. So
I'm not gonna stop.
definitely congratulations already. I'm going to get into that. Manifest.
Yes.
So most definitely, everyone definitely tune in. CEO Nicole M. Jordan, Exquisite PR firm, definitely a great firm if you guys are looking for PR. And until next time, God bless everyone.
See you guys later.